Lease is signed. I'm moving to Brooklyn. Oh, Perry. That's my roommate's cat. Oh no. Okay. Hear me out. I know I've been a bad friend. I told you guys on social media that whenever I was moving away from Dallas that I was gonna do a very good job of posting on this channel specifically, my YouTube. And I really was hoping to make it similar to like a bi-weekly or monthly letter type of thing with you guys and let you know the ins and outs of what's kind of going on now that I live out here in New York City. I did a really good job on this. I know that doesn't sound like it, but I think I did a pretty good job on this one. Okay, but back to what I was talking about. Yes, I know I have been awful about giving you guys updates about just what's going on here in New York City, what's changed in my life, what kinds of things am I getting into now that I'm out here, and even like the people that I'm meeting and the things that I am involving myself in. Not that there's anything bad, but just in general, like things that are different than what you might remember from whenever I was in Dallas. I did record my move, like the actual packing of the move and even the things leading up to like signing my lease and apartment hunting type of stuff. I filmed all that as well, and I do have all that content, and that kind of leads me into what this video is kind of gonna look like and what I think I might actually do moving forward as well. I've realized that for now at least, it's kind of unrealistic for me to film as if you're there at everything with me all the time. I think I really like documenting things in real time so that it doesn't feel like I'm vlogging, but it just feels like I'm filming for the sake of being there with my friends and trying to make a memory. And so rather than always like flipping my camera on and like vlogging it like this, saying like whatever I'm saying to the camera and having my friends repeat whatever might have happened, I'm gonna film a lot more as if I'm really there and being present and filming them for the sake of just sharing it with them at that moment. And then on the back end, what I might do is what I'm doing right now, kind of talking to you guys as if you're my journal or my diary. And it's kind of gonna be like a letter to you at the end of whatever the period is between one vlog to the next. Kind of like my letters from New York. Maybe that's what I'll call this vlog series, Letters from New York. That's kind of cheesy, but when have I ever cared about being cheesy, right? But yeah, let's take it back to basically when I was still at my parents' place after my lease in Dallas ended and just kind of figuring out where I was gonna end up. I think the whole moving process as a whole kind of opened my eyes for like the 100th time to how insanely blessed I am. And I actually texted my friends about this recently, but I talk about my friends a lot. And if you ever meet me in person and you're not a friend of mine yet, just know that I am going to talk about my friends from back home in Dallas, the ones that I've grown up with, a lot. Because I am so incredibly lucky to have them in my life. And I know that the friendships that we have and the group that we have is incredibly rare. Some of us have known each other since even before elementary school. Some of us have known each other since middle school, high school, whenever they moved into the city. Our parents are all friends with each other. Some of us went to the same schools, but basically what happened is all of us moved back to Dallas and we just have the most incredibly close-knit group of people that I could not be luckier to have. And so having that time to hang out with them again and spend the time with them prior to moving really reopened my eyes to that. But yeah, I'm just gonna share clips of me hanging out with those friends and spending the time with them and kind of just, how do I even say this? We're soaking in the, this is a weird way to put it, and I wouldn't normally talk like this, but soaking in kind of the depth of the relationships that we have with each other. And it probably won't come through on camera the same way that it comes through just inside for me, but that's what I'm gonna share with you guys. We had pizza nights, game nights, got to meet new significant others that I feel really, really lucky to have gotten to meet before leaving. Got to see newborn babies that my friends had. For those guys who I met here in New York that are watching this, or I just don't know yet, it might sound crazy to you, but back home in Dallas, most of my friends are married. Most of them are married, and a lot of them are starting to have kids. And one, I feel so lucky to be able to see them just start families and grow their family, but also to just to be able to be Uncle Ari to a lot of these kids. And so yeah, I got to see some of my favorite friends in the whole world, the Bissets. They welcomed their baby Haven into the world. I had a final Friendsgiving with those friends in Dallas. During those 2 months, November and December, where I was still in Dallas and trying to figure out where I was gonna go next, I also got to spend 2 months at home with my parents again. And to be honest, I don't know how much video I actually took while I was in my parents' place other than like vlog stuff, but that was another thing that I was incredibly grateful for, because I got to just be in that space with my parents again. And constant reminder for myself is that I'm getting older and my parents aren't getting any younger, and getting to spend 2 months in the same space as my parents, as crazy as it might sound, I was happy to do it. Not because I'm all gung-ho about moving back in with my parents at all, like that's not the case. And once I moved out of my parents, I was very happy to be out of my parents' place and out of the same roof that they're under. But when you know that it's temporary, getting to share that time with them and see them every day for 2 months, I don't know if it got to them, but I really, really did feel that that was such a special time. I got to learn how to make a dish that is one of my favorite Korean dishes called kamchattang. And so I got to spend some time in the kitchen with my mom and dad. And now that both my sister and I are out of town, out of the house, we got to spend Thanksgiving in Amarillo with my sister. My sister was back in Dallas for Christmas, and so we got to spend Christmas together. That's something that I will always value and cherish. And so getting to do that, amazing. And then we packed up for the move. And I did document that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the whole moving process. It is currently 1:56 a.m. Tuesday, December 30th. I just signed the lease to my first ever Brooklyn, New York apartment. I mean, truthfully, it still doesn't feel real yet. And it probably won't for a while. Holy cow, I'm moving to New York. Not really sure what's going on with my camera. It's bugging out on the lighting side right now, but we'll figure that out later. Just got to our first stop here, like right outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. I don't think I've driven through this part of Arkansas in like 10 years. Like, I think whenever I first toured the U of A campus before I went to Arkansas for college, I had an uncle that went to medical school here in Little Rock, and so we just went the long way to Fayetteville instead of going straight to Fayetteville. And so I do remember going to Little Rock as a senior in high school, but I haven't been here since then. But yeah, we made it just about 5 and almost a half-ish hours from where my parents' place was to here on a little bit less than a whole tank of gas. Gas was surprisingly less than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to cost me about $100 to fill up every single time with this truck. Ended up running me right around like $57. That's not bad. So clearly we're not on the West Coast. But yeah, we're gonna try to make it to Nashville tonight. I wanted to go to Knoxville, but I ended up waking up 2 hours later than I had planned on waking up, and so I left a lot later than I wanted to leave. But yeah, we're gonna try to stop in Nashville, stay there for the night, and then instead of making it a Friday-Saturday trip, I actually end up just going ahead and splitting it up into 3 days, so I get into Brooklyn on Sunday morning. Glad you guys are along for the ride. Let me show you guys King, because he looks so cute right now. There's King in his little setup. Hey buddy. Yeah, he is not a happy camper right now. He doesn't do well in cars, just doesn't like sudden bumps, and so that's been getting him like the entire time we've been driving, but he's hanging in there. We'll catch you guys in Nashville.
You know, like, definitely not perfect.
Alright, we are live from the hotel bathroom because hotel bathrooms always have the best lighting. I ended up stopping in Brentwood, which is like just south of Nashville, I think, southeast or southwest of Nashville. Yeah, it was like a whole thing trying to book a hotel here because none of the hotels in downtown Nashville, which was technically on my route on I-40, were able to have me park a box truck in their parking lot. I ended up having to book a hotel here in Brentwood, which is a little bit outside of the city. There's just less people that stay here, bigger parking lot, all that stuff. Took King on a nice walk by a Jenny's Ice Cream. I need to hit that tonight before they close. Or are they closed already? I feel like I deserve it. I've been driving. It's 10:15. I think like total drive time, I was probably driving for about 10 and a half hours, and then actual time on the road was closer to 12 hours. Long freaking travel day. It's probably the longest I've driven. Like last year I drove back to Dallas from LA with my sister, but we split some of the driving. This one all on my own, and so it's probably the longest I've driven, like just straight up driven. The longest for sure that King's been in a car, and he handled it like a champ, slept pretty much the whole time. So fingers crossed it's the same thing tomorrow. I think the weather's supposed to be similar. It did start raining like halfway. I got to Little Rock and it started raining. That was annoying, but yeah, we're halfway there. Or actually no, we're almost halfway there. I'm gonna go get some ice cream and get ready for bed. Alright, good morning gang. Got my morning coffee. If you've been following me at all on social media, you would know that I get a bag of coffee in every city that I'm visiting or just running through. And I've been to Nashville before, but I've never been to an actual like local Nashville coffee shop. The last time I was here was my freshman year of college, and I just wasn't drinking coffee like that back then. But yeah, we went to Crema because it's like on Google unanimously the best coffee in Nashville according to a lot of the different pages. I did some digging around, but yeah, they say Crema has the best roasts, they say Crema's the best roaster in the city, which is usually what I look for anyways, and then they also apparently have the best coffee. So we got the El Diviso here. It is, the producer's Jose Uribe Lasso, and if you know roasters at all, really, you would know it's a pretty common name, like Luis Anibal, this name pretty big names. And yeah, I just asked the guys in the shop which roast they preferred out of the rotation right now, and I just really love it when baristas at coffee shops actually know the coffee that they're selling to. Ooh, this glare is really bad. But yeah, I just really love it whenever baristas actually know the coffee that they're trying to sell you. So that was really refreshing. They immediately went to this Colombian roast. Strawberries, orange flower, and cream. Sounds like a really good mix. I imagine at some point it's like an orange cream soda, so that would be really, really good. Super excited to try that when I get to New York. I would tell you what I got here, but I forgot what the name was. I just know that there's a little bit of like orange and cinnamon flavor in this. That's a coffee. We're that much closer. We're almost there.
$28 or more when you join for $1.
I'm gonna make this quick because I think I'm gonna end up running out of battery if I make this too long. This is probably also gonna be the last time you guys see me until I get into Brooklyn, just to save battery because I ran out of battery in my other one. We made it, checking in from another hotel bathroom, but we made it to Camp Hill, which is just outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I actually asked Grok last night where I should stay in Harrisburg, and they said that Camp Hill was a great suburb to stay in. I don't know anything about PA suburbs, so I can't really tell you if I think that's right or not. And we've got about 3 hours left until we make it to Brooklyn, so that's super exciting. Also, the Niners are playing, and I don't know, we're not looking too great. I am so excited to not be on the road anymore. King is so excited to not be on the road anymore. He is beyond stressed, like will not eat food, so I gotta try to get him to eat something while we're here. But yeah, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow while we're moving stuff in. Okay, now that you're back, I have my phone out, that way I can kind of go through my gallery and see what I may have missed sharing with you guys, that way I can share it, or make sure that I share it. So it has been a minute since I've been up here. Almost 6 months. So there's quite a bit that I do technically need to catch you guys up on. One thing I've learned from this move is that I am not built for moving furniture specifically. I can do it and I won't do it. I can do it and I will do it, and I won't complain. I might complain, but I'll do it. But I think I've learned that I'm honestly better off hiring movers or getting TaskRabbit people to do it. I carried our big ass TV into the living room from the Best Buy all the way down by the Barclays Center by myself. I was basically a robbery magnet. Like, I'm just carrying a box, a massive box with a TV in it, all the way down from the Atlantic Terminal store mall area to the station that was over there. I don't remember which train station it was. And I rode the train with the TV, and this is at nighttime too. It's not during the day, it's at nighttime. And thank God my roommate was there to help me out of the station by our house. I experienced, probably from what I've heard from a lot of people who are from here and have lived here, the worst winter in New York City in a long time. We had winter storm on top of winter storm. Like, one winter storm would come and hit and we'd get snow like crazy. And then as soon as that snow almost melts off, it's another one, another blizzard. So that was fun. I got to have a lot of snow out in New York City. King got to walk all over the snow and see, I think it's his first snow, like actual snow. So King got to walk all over the snow. I installed some shelves in my room. I became Bob the Builder, was using a drill and all that handyman stuff. Cut to that. Gonna be honest, that's all I've got in me. I don't know what else to move. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I am finding out now, after the fact, that I am missing one of the shelf anchor things. So, gonna need to get another one of those, because I do have one more shelf. And yeah, I would like to have
the shelf right here. But yeah, that's my bow axle shelf. Room's coming together. We're almost done with like all the construction stuff that has to go on around the house.
I was in New York City for New York Fashion Week for the first time ever. Did I do anything crazy? No, I actually didn't go to anything other than the Vandy the Pink pop-up that they did in the city, during which Joey's my roommate, one of my roommates, Joey and I won a couch for our house. And I'm not really sure if you can even call it a couch, but it's Vandy's French fry couch. It did not last very long. It ended up on the patio because we hosted a housewarming party, and Caitlin, our third roommate and Joey's girlfriend, did not want the French fries in the house. So totally fair also. Like, I'm not making Caitlin out to be a bad guy here. Like, it's totally fair that she did not want those French fries in the house. And honestly, I didn't either. And I don't really know if Joey wanted to either. It was just kind of a novelty thing to have, but definitely not something that was like guest friendly by any means. So it's still to this day out on our patio in the backyard, and we're gonna have to call the 1-800-JUNK people to pick it up. Of course, in the midst of all that, I still have my work travel, so I went to Orlando in January, Vegas in February. I am on Belly now because I feel like that's the New York City thing to do, is everyone's on Belly. So yes, I have been trying restaurants and reviewing them, and so you should definitely follow me on Belly if you don't already. And also, please send me your recommendations. I am dying to try more restaurants, and so please send me recommendations. Something I'm not used to still is the reservation culture out here. It is impossible to get a reservation. I'm on Resi hunting, and it's still hard. In March, I went back to Dallas for another work trip, but also stayed for a little bit for the personal stuff. King got to fly for the first time, so I got to bring him to the airport and travel with him for the first time ever. Just like me, he's a great flyer. He passes out. But just like me, he has anxiety when the plane is taking off and when the plane is landing. Hence why I sit in the window seat, and hence why King jumps out of the crate or the carrier that he's in and tries to escape. But other than that, he's a great camper whenever we're on the plane. This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but I have kept up with my running, and honestly, running out here in New York City is amazing. I am part of a running club out here called White Noise Run Club. If you've been watching my social media content, you might know that I made coffee content for a coffee shop out here called White Noise. And Vanessa, who is the owner and founder of the shop, I treat her like my second mom. Like, she's kind of like my New York City mom, and I am very, very grateful for the things that she's done for me and the care that she's taken care of me since I moved up here. But one of the things that she has built is a community for runners, and I hosted once. I still go regularly as a guest to show up and support. King has been and ran with us as well, but I have been running, and I still do run. I'm kind of jumping a little bit here, but since we're on the topic of running, I did sign up for a marathon that's coming up this September. Me and a friend of mine that I've actually met at White Noise Run Club, we signed up together. My goal is to run a sub 245 and qualify for Boston, and then use that time to get into all the other world majors that I also want to run as well. So big goals for this year. I also ran my first ever mile race today, 1 mile. That is what I'm wearing right now. You can't really tell anything from the waist down, but PR'd. I ran a 4:48 mile, got third, and then I made friends with the guys who beat me. But yeah, the running journey continues. And I don't really need my phone anymore for this, but in April, I went back home for another wedding that I was in Dallas. My friend Neil Patel married the love of his life, Nijal, who is now also Patel. It was my first Indian wedding, and so I got to learn all the ins and outs of like the dancing and the culture and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Got to see all my old high school friends as well during that. And then the only real thing to talk about now is community. Something that I valued so much whenever I was in Dallas, and something that I'm still trying to find here in New York, but have started to make strides towards. There are some really, really incredible people out here in New York City. And that's something that I will always harp on now that I've been out here, is that the culture out here and the people out here are a little bit more the speed that I wanted for my life personally, and I've met some really, really great people because of that. So like my roommate is a bartender full time, and so I spend a lot of time at the bars that he works at, and I've gotten to meet some really, really incredible people there. The run club has also been really great for meeting people, and so I've gotten to meet a lot of good friends through that. Social media and running in general have also been really, really great. So I've met some friends through social media out here, and I think that's only gonna get better. And so I am so incredibly excited for this new chapter in life. And if you know me and we've talked, I'm sure you know how excited I am to be out here. And that doesn't mean that every single day is dandy and perfect. I admittedly have my days where I don't necessarily miss Dallas. I don't miss Texas specifically, but I think I will always, always, always miss the people who make me feel like I'm at home. And yeah, I don't really ever want to grow out of that. I think home should always be, for me, the people that I love the most. I also should tell you, I did start taking myself on solo dates a little bit more often now that I'm out here in New York. And it's really helped me get that I actually live here feeling. Like, it took a long time for me to actually experience that feeling specifically of like feeling like, oh my God, I actually live in New York City now. Solo dates. So if you as a watcher or a viewer are moving to a new place and you want to know how to feel that, take yourself on solo dates. It took me taking myself to the Met Gala on a random Friday night and then going to dinner by myself in the city to experience that for the first time, and like riding a bike through Central Park and just doing like the basic New York things, but knowing that at the end of the day I'm going home and not to a hotel room. That will do wonders for you if you're trying to find that sense of I live here now in a new city. So go on solo dates, experience the city that you're in, see the people that are around you every single day like that. That's about all I've got for this specific vlog, but I'll be back. I'll be doing another one. I'll be doing more of these, I promise. I'll be a better friend to you guys and keep up with you guys a little bit better, because I know that's something I need to work on. I know I need to get better at that, and so I'm going to make that a promise. I will get better. But yeah, hope 2026 has been so good to you guys so far, and I'll see you on the next one. We have the most vocal cat ever. Perry, come here. This is Perry. Oh, hey. No, we are friends. We are friends. Okay.